Well, I tell you what, 2026 is about to be a huge year for Star Trek, and it finally feels like the franchise has its spark back. There's something for every kind of fan, from new cadets at Starfleet Academy to the final voyages of Strange New Worlds. There's even an animated show for kids and a mysterious pre-Enterprise movie in the works. So here's every upcoming Star Trek movie and series coming up in 2026. Number 1. Star Trek Starfleet Academy. So here's the deal. Star Trek Starfleet Academy is finally happening, and it's dropping on January 15th, 2026. Now, after years of rumours and false starts, this one's real. The story jumps way forward in time into the 32nd century. That's long after the Federation nearly fell apart. Now, it's about a brand new class of cadets stepping into a rebuilt academy, and they're trying to figure out what Starfleet even stands for in a galaxy that's, well, barely holding itself together. This isn't your usual bridge crew saves the day kind of Trek. It's, well, younger, messier, and a little more grounded. You've got Holly Hunter playing the Chancellor, the tough, experienced leader who's seen a few too many idealists crash and burn. The series is being led by Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau. They've even built a massive academy set in Toronto, complete with an atrium that looks like Starfleet's version of a college quad. Bright banners, uniforms, and nervous recruits running to class included. The show is focusing less on phasers and space battles and more on, well, people trying to grow into heroes before they ever set foot on a starship. You'll see friendships forming, rivalries heating up, and plenty of that moral grey area that Trek does so well. Except this time, it's from the eyes of rookies who still have everything to prove. Now, what makes Starfleet Academy exciting is that it's fresh without throwing away the heart of Star Trek. If it nails that tone, hopeful but real, this could be the show that pulls in a whole new generation of fans who've never seen Trek before. Number 2. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4. The crew of the Enterprise is back, and Strange New Worlds Season 4 looks like it's going to remind everyone why this show has become the heart of modern Star Trek. Filming wrapped up in August 2025, which means the new season is now deep in post-production and on track for a mid to late 2026 release on Paramount+. It's been called the most ambitious season yet, and from everything that's leaked out of Toronto, that's not just marketing talk. They're going big this time. Oh yeah. At its core, Strange New Worlds has always been about rediscovering what made Star Trek special in the first place. The optimism, the curiosity, the adventure. Now, Season 4 seems ready to push those ideas even further. Anson Mount's Captain Pike is still carrying the weight of knowing his future, while Ethan Peck's Spock continues to struggle with what it means to balance logic and emotion. Rebecca remains number 1, Celia Rose, Gooding Zahura, and Christina Chong's-Lan are all getting expanded arcs that promise to flesh out their journeys in, well, new ways. But what's really got fans buzzing is the show's willingness to experiment. One of the most talked about episodes of the season is the Jim Henson Creature Shop collaboration. Yes, an entire episode featuring puppet versions of the Enterprise crew. Man, it sounds wild, but insiders have said it's surprisingly emotional and explores themes of perception and identity in a way Trek could pull off. So, visually, this season is shaping up to look, well, cinematic. The production team is still using that cutting-edge AR wall technology. The tone, though, is staying true to what us fans love. If Season 4 lands the way it's shaping up to, it could easily go down as one of the best modern seasons in the entire Star Trek franchise, which obviously would be great. So, number 3, Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 5, final season. After all the adventures, laughs and close calls, Strange New Worlds is officially heading towards its final voyage. Season 5 will mark the end of the series, and while the news hits fans hard, there's a sense that this goodbye has been planned carefully. The showrunners aren't rushing it or leaving threads hanging. They're steering it toward a proper ending, something rare in modern Trek, right? Production for the final season is set to roll right after post-production wraps on Season 4. Now that's a smart move, because it keeps the sets intact, the cast in rhythm, and the creative momentum alive. Everyone involved seems to know how special this show has become, and, determined to end it on a high note. Reports say it'll be, well, a shorter run, 6 episodes in total only, but each one is being crafted like a movie. The plan is to close out Pike's journey in a way that directly connects to the original series timeline, bringing the story full circle. That means we'll finally see how Captain Christopher Pike transitions from the hopeful, brave explorer we've come to love into the legend that Spock and Kirk later honour. It's not going to be an easy watch, that's for sure. Pike's fate has always been one of tragedy, wrapped in heroism, but knowing the emotional depth this cast brings, it's going to hit hard. There's also talk that the show will tie up arcs for Spock and Uhura, showing how their experiences on Pike's Enterprise shape who they become later. Strange New Worlds has always balanced light-hearted adventure with heartfelt character moments, and it sounds like Season 5 will lean all the way into that emotional mix. Expect callbacks, full circle moments, and maybe even a few surprise cameos from other corners of the Trek universe. Now that would be cool. The mood around the season feels bittersweet. Fans don't want to say goodbye, of course, but everyone seems grateful the story gets to end properly instead of fading out. If Strange New Worlds began as a love letter to classic Trek, then this final chapter might just be its most powerful message yet. So let's look forward to that. Right, number 4, Star Trek Origins movie. This one's got everyone talking. The mysterious new Star Trek movie that's set long before Captain Kirk, long before the Enterprise, and maybe even before the Federation itself. It's the big screen project currently in pre-production, with early buzz suggesting it's going to explore humanity's very first steps into space. There's no confirmed release date yet, but 2026 keeps popping up as a realistic window. Now, if all goes smoothly, this could end up being the centrepiece of Trek's 60th anniversary celebration. Wow. The story is rumoured to take place decades before the events of Star Trek First Contact, showing how Earth rebuilt after global wars and began uniting under one banner to reach the stars. Think about, well, early test flights, politics and fragile hope, instead of warp speed heroics. The focus isn't on familiar faces either. How can it be? There's no Kirk, Spock or Picard, just ordinary people trying to, well, become the kind of explorers who would eventually found Starfleet. It's smaller scale, more personal, and maybe exactly what the franchise needs after years of spectacle. Behind the camera, the lineup is impressive. Toby Haynes, who directed episodes of Andor and Black Mirror, is bringing his sharp, grounded style to the project. The script comes from Seth Grahame-Smith, the writer behind the Lego Batman movie, which gives fans hope for a mix of clever storytelling and character-driven humour. And overseeing it all is Simon Kinberg, the producer who's worked on X-Men and Star Wars, signifying basically that Paramount's treating this like a real tentpole project, and not a one-off experiment. Now, what's actually really interesting is that this movie might connect directly to the classic First Contact timeline, maybe even leading up to humanity's first encounter with the Vulcans. Now, if that's true, it could reframe everything we know about Star Trek's history and show the Federation being born from chaos instead of confidence. So, let's now look on to number 5. Star Trek Scouts. Well, now here's one that nobody saw coming. Star Trek Scouts is bringing the Trek universe to a whole new generation. It's a light-hearted animated preschool series being made by Nickelodeon Digital Studios in collaboration with CBS Studios, and it's part of the big 60th anniversary date planned for 2026. Now, instead of starship battles or moral dilemmas, this show focuses on the fun, curiosity-filled side of exploration. The idea behind Scouts is simple but clever. Show kids what Starfleet values look like before they're old enough to fully understand warp cores and prime directives. It follows a group of young alien cadets, the Scouts, who learn teamwork, problem solving and courage as they go on small-scale adventures around the galaxy. Think about, well, maybe Bluey meets Star Trek, right? With colourful animation, gentle humour and just enough science to spark curiosity. The showrunners have said that the goal isn't to simplify Trek, but to make its spirit accessible to kids while still being enjoyable for parents who grew up with the older series. That means familiar ships, familiar species, and maybe even a few voice cameos from classic characters. Visually, the series has a bright, rounded animation style that's very different from Lower Decks or Prodigy. It's meant for streaming and YouTube first, giving it a wider reach than any previous animated Trek. The episodes, well, they're short, punchy and packed with imagination, each one teaching a soft lesson about empathy, leadership or curiosity without feeling preachy. Now, that's a wrap for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. See you then, and live long and prosper. See ya, bye.